We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Welcome to Boxing Ego. In this video, Gary Russell, surprisingly, some would say shockingly, defends Gervonta Tank Davis, who he has expressed he wants to fight. So in this video, we will break that down, what the man had to say, and I think it's some good stuff.
Understand the rules and what goes on.
Okay.
And they just looking at it as, oh, he took a knee. So here's the thing. It was not a punch that landed within maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds of him taking a knee or anything. Nothing landed to make him take that knee. He did take a knee though. And when we compete, this is something they teach you even in the amateurs. If something is going on, if your glove feel like it's coming off or your shoe feel like it's about to come loose, as a fighter, what we do to sign the referee, we take a step back and you take a knee. And they say you're supposed to like tap your head. I don't know if Tank tapped his head or anything like that, but I didn't see anything go on within that fight or within that encounter or engage. Understand the rule.
Shout out to Gary Russell Jr. Now, I've been a longtime fan of Gary Russell Jr. I still think he has some of the fastest hands the boxing game has ever seen. And he did this brand new interview and he defended Tank, people. He defended Tank. Word. I think that Gary Russell is a real one. For me, I can respect when, here's what I do and don't respect. Let me just outline it like that. I do respect when a man acts like a man, meaning you can have an enemy, you can have a rival, an arch nemesis, an op, whatever we want to call it. But that doesn't mean you have to lie on your ops because you may not see eye to eye. So I do respect when a person can have a rival but still give it up and keep it real regarding their rival's name. That's a real man. Shout out to Gary Russell. That's exactly what he just did. Him and Tank have had exchanges and words. They're both from the same DMV, Maryland, Baltimore type region. And Gary Russell don't owe nothing to Tank. Like, we're not like boys, we're not friends, stuff like that. If anything, he said he wanted to fight Tank. He said he wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson. He said he wanted to fight Lamont Roach. Hopefully one of those guys or somebody with a name gives Gary Russell an opportunity. So I do respect when a man can be a man and just keep it real at all costs, even if it's your ops. What I don't respect is when men don't act like men, and because you have disdain, because you don't like somebody, that every single thing they do is bad. Like, let's say I didn't like Leonardo DiCaprio. He's one of my favorite actors, but we'll use him as an example. If I watch The Revenant, which is an excellent film, by the way, which I just rewatched, and let's say I didn't like Leo, and I'm like, nah, I watched the whole movie, and I'm like, nah, Leo ain't do his thing. He acted horrible. That was horrible acting. That's a hater. That ain't no man to me. That's not masculine at all, where you're just willing to lie because you don't like somebody. You know what I mean? Or like, nah, Leo in Django was horrible. He didn't do his thing in The Departed just because you don't like the man. And in boxing, that's what you get. more often than not. Me, Gary Russell Jr., and probably a few others are last of a dying breed where we're just going to keep it real to what we see. And back to what Gary Russell said, he says that Tank was not hurt when he took the knee. He acknowledges that he took a knee, but then he kind of gives Tank props as far as saying, this is what they teach you in the amateurs, which is true. I know a lot of fighters personally, right? This is what they teach you. They teach you stuff like this, little subtle veteran tricks. I've even heard, don't shoot the messenger. I've even heard boxers say their trainers, their coaches tell them to low blow if they're in trouble. Again, some people are like, oh man, ego, that's illegal. It's not illegal unless the referee keeps warning you and threatens to deduct the point, and you make it look super flagrant to the point where like you intentionally fouled and da-da-da-da. But it's the subtlety of it. These are little dirty veteran tricks that people do. People you push off with their forearms and elbows, hit you low when you need some breathing room, you know, because when you hit someone low, like say someone's hurting you and they hurt you to the body and they're coming for you now and they sense it. You got to stop that action any way you can. So boop, hit them low, causes confusion. And now you're afforded a little bit of time to recover. And obviously if the referee says, hey, do that again, you're disqualified, then you can't do it again. But it's the same thing with the knee. And Gervonta Davis is such a polarizing current fighter where people are so desperate to put smut on his name that they're overdoing this Lamont Roach fight. I've already broken it down, and I love what Gary Russell said because of exactly what I said. Yes, Tank took a knee. Yes, the ref, if he wanted to, if it was up to him to take a point, right? You could listen to me or Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is like, oh, Lamont Roach won. No, he didn't. I mean, if that's the case, then we could say Marquez beat Pacquiao. How come people like Max Kellerman and these Tank haters, they never say stuff like that? It's always usually towards popping black fighters that aren't affiliated with them. Marquez, I thought he definitely beat Pacquiao in the third fight, not the fourth one where he knocked him out. The third fight, right? How come people like Max Kellerman never bring that up? And they don't just say, oh no, Marquez won. I don't care what the record shows, right? Or Pernell Whitaker, who was jobbed versus Julio Cesar Chavez. They'll do it to Andre SOG Ward versus Kovalev. They'll do it to Jermell Charlo when he fought Castano. They'll do it to Tank and Roach. Notice a pattern. When it's a black fighter and then the fight is close or some level of controversy, notice these people always shade the black fighter and they try to make it look like Kovalev had some egregious robbery or Tyson Fury Wilder. Bro, Tyson Fury, I'm talking about the first fight. Fury was knocked unconscious. The fight really should have been over when you see a person unconscious for longer than 10 seconds. But Jack Reese allowed him to get back up and blah, blah, blah. Shout out to Gary Russell Jr. He kept it real. Tank was not hurt. It was up to the ref's discretion. The ref is in charge. Ringside physicians are in charge. That's just what you got to deal with. The reality is it was a weird occurrence, a once in a 100 fight type of occurrence. Nobody, including the referee, knew what was even going on. Like, it was such a weird moment that I was watching the fight live doing the Boxing Ego watch party. And I'm like, what's this? What happened? What? Because I didn't even see nothing. And that's why Gary Russell said that. Because even though him and Tank have had their own disagreements, he's not going to lie on the man's name. And he wasn't hurt by no punch, bro. He took a knee. He had whatever grease in his eye. But again, the usual suspects, the resistance, they hate on Tank so much that they're trying to build their audience with Tank slander. There's a ton of YouTubers, content creators, people like Max Kellerman on his show. That's the easy way. These people are lazy. I'm trying to tell you, these people are lazy because they want to build their entire brand based on hate. They want to build their brand based on like controversy and clickbait. Lazy individuals, lazy people. You know what I mean? So shout out to the people like Gary Russell who, friend or foe, he's just going to call it how he sees and keep it real. Tank was not hurt. There was no like, boom, like concussive blow and Tank was drunk. Because another reason I know he wasn't hurt is because if you watch that round again, don't look at it from the lens of a Tank hater. Look at it from a realistic perspective, right? If you watch that, it was weird, took the knee, then he ran to the corner. If you have no legs, you're not running in general. Like if you just got melted, your legs are probably gone. So you're not gonna be all spry and just run over here, take a knee, hop back up, then run over to the corner. So I agree the sequence was weird, but clearly he wasn't hurt. If he was hurt, you're not taking the knee, popping up, and then running. Who does that? You think Zab Judah when he fought Costa Zoo and he got up and his legs was like chicken dancing? You think he's moving around, taking a knee, popping up, running? No, you're not gonna do all that, right? And that's the reality of it. And I think the real ones know, and even the people who hate on Tank, they know he wasn't hurt from a punch. And it's sad because Lamont Roach, to be honest, he was irrelevant. Tank put you on. He put you on. Nobody, when you was with Golden Boy, nobody was checking for you. Tank put you on. Now you're in another big fight. That's because of Tank. That's because you fought Tank and did cool. Did well for yourself, better than people expected. Now you about to fight Esau Pitbull Cruz. Tank made that possible, right? Tank made that possible. Just like Boxing Talk, Boxing Ego made that possible. Look how many people followed in my footsteps. Boxing Ego is a pioneer in this game. I made that possible for people to do this. I showed people the way. You got to give credit to the originator, the Dun Dada. In my field, I'm a Dun Dada. I'm a made man. Tank in his field, he that dude, he a made man. Lamont Roach getting opportunities to this day because of Tank, a pay-per-view. He ain't never been on pay-per-view before Tank that I know of. And if he was on somebody's undercard. He wasn't no main event. So I don't know why I do, but I don't. But you know what I mean? People are making this big to do. The ref called what it called. Lamont Roach tried to fight it with the commission. The commission said, Diddy voice, take that. So you're dead in the water. So anybody who it's like the court of law, the U.S. judicial system, right? You have due process. You go through a trial. O.J. Simpson was not convicted. You can say whatever you want. He wasn't convicted. So he went through trial, got Johnny Cochran, Judge Ito, all of them was there. Kato Kalin, you know what I mean? And he went through the process. They deemed he wasn't guilty. You got to just eat that. That's exactly what happened. Whether you like the OJ verdict or you don't like it, he went through the due process. This is the result. It's not like he skipped trial and he's like in a foreign country. You know what I mean? Same thing with Tank. Whether you like how instant replay wasn't used or you like how the ref handled or not, it happened. He had due process with the commission. They said, we're keeping it. We're not changing the end result. That's just something you got to deal with. So again, I made this video to bring awareness and say shout out to Gary Russell. He a real one because he easily could have looked at Tank as a op and just been like, nah, Tank cheated or whatever goofy people are saying. Tank cheated. He lost. He knew he was losing. Again, you guys can believe whatever you want. The results still say the same. He's doing the draw, and now he's doing the Jake Paul fight. So I'm happy. I'm happy it played out like that because I like to see y'all cry. I like to see y'all in misery and suffer, you know, because you want to hate so bad. I like it. Shout out to Gary Russell for being a real one, setting the record straight. Tank was not hurt from a punch. Lamont Roach even said that. He did a live stream because he's a streamer now. And he was like, chat, I'm not saying he was hurt. I'm not saying he was hurt. I'm not chat, please, no chat. I'm not saying I hurt him. Then what are you saying? So you're pretty much agreeing, like Gary Russell, that he wasn't hurt. But then you're putting up this fuss wanting a 10-8 round for some weird hair grease knee stuff. Again, I wouldn't have cared if the referee said, all right, 10-8 round. Cool. But you can't change it thereafter. Because if a fighter knew in round 9 or whatever it was that he had a point deduction, he could fight for the remaining fight rounds, for the remainder of the fight. He could start fighting different. Put some pep in his step, like bow, bow, bow. Start dumping to the body. But it didn't get called like that. So you can't go in after the fact and change it. The only way you could come in after a fight and like change the result is if somebody popped dirty with PEDs. And Tank didn't do that. So again, it's just something you got to deal with. We unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself. Especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.